Welcome everybody to the SEO Vault. This is episode 212. I am Mike, today here with my good friend Mark. We're going to be talking about some latest SEO updates, some awesome Web 20 news, ranker news, some AI stuff, all the great stuff you're used to. So stick around. You can find us again on all your favorite podcast platforms, Facebook, YouTube. Go ahead, smash the like button, share with your friends, all that other amazing fun social engagement things we love to see. Thank you. How you doing, Mark?
Good, man. Thank you for having me again.
It's always a pleasure.
It's turning into a weekly thing, and I like that. Hello, everyone.
It's been a fun week, busy week, as usual.
Very busy week.
Major updates. Yeah, it gets busier and busier, but we got a lot going on. I think as of today is the last day of the Halloween sale. So if you have not jumped in on that, what is that? There's what percent off is that off, Mark?
25?
25? That's I was like, I probably should have put that in the notes here. Go
20
check it
or
out.
25?
Don't miss the spooky savings. I'm pretty sure it's yeah, let's not do that again this week. But yeah, go check out the sale. It is the last day. So I think and even awesome news too, more awesomer, I guess, if you do take part in the sale and you're spending over $500 a month with Web 20, which you could do with this sale, you're going to get access to the new Web 20 AI content tool that is now officially launched. Right? Do we have it open for non partners yet, or is it still just
Mike,
for the? Am I asking you too many questions, Mark?
Asking all the hard questions. It might be open, but I know we're not pushing it too hard right now. Other than for free to the APP friends and family. Very exciting stuff though. It's really cool and potentially some even cooler stuff dropping in there that we have on the roadmap. So yeah, if you spend $500 a month with Web 20, you get it for free, and it's part of the entire APP system that everyone's been working hard on revamping. So very exciting stuff. We have another tool about to go live, which I don't want to talk about much till it's live because everyone knows how software is. So we could catch something in the 11th hour that we want to tweak. So but it's very close. It'll be ready for us to continue to break internally. It's an internal tool we invested pretty heavily in a few years ago. Never launched it publicly. We used it for our clients and just internally. But now that we're here, we did the merge and then some additional engineering off the roadmap that I had from a couple of years ago to make it a little bit better. It was a disjointed process where we had to take the data from the internal tool and then run it through another tool I built, and that's only so cool. So now that whole thing will be in the dash. Anywho, really exciting. We're trying to really push. We have some really cool ideas for the APP that we're going to start rolling out. One of those is this tool section where right now we have the AI content tool, bulk content, long form content, built by agencies for agencies. So, all of your agency. Is there a fire going on in your house, Mike? I see smoke.
That's a humidifier. That's it. Just trying to set the spooky mood for the Halloween sale.
Beautiful. I wish, again, the soundboard, I could have the creepy organ dun, 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 with the fog, the
Every
mist
time we
in
say
the
the word
background.
Halloween, you press it.
Yeah, like an ominous laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really excited about the APP section. One big thing for everyone jumping in there for free. You are kind of like we've been using the tool internally, of course, but you are kind of like the public beta users. So please excuse the bugs and whatnot. We have the support team working hard. Mike's working hard. Nate is also working hard as he also travels around the country for business and some pleasure. But everyone's working on it, so we'll address issues and whatnot. But really excited for the tool section. It's something I wanted to do in some regard for a long time. So here we are doing it. So very
And
excited
it's
for that.
also just a huge transition in general for our dashboard, because not only will we be putting these tools together for our partner, agencies, but this is kind of going to be the full new dashboard as we migrate over to from SEO reports.agency with whole new features completely rebuilt from the ground up. I don't think we have any full timeline on that, but again, this is kind of the initial step of getting agency partners in, using the free tool sets that'll be available, start bringing those people in and probably testing out all those new features as well. So again, there's going to be some bugs and things. We got live chat in the dashboard there specifically for the AI content tool and everything we're going to be building out on that side. I'm in there. We have Danielle rocking out support as well. So definitely let us know what you're seeing so we can get things rocking out and running smooth for sure. Very exciting.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Real quick before we jump to the testing update, I know this is a bit off topic for Web 20, but um, I know Facebook reach is super limited these days. For anyone that didn't see, have some huge updates we rolled out in Local Viking as well. So, admittedly, there was some accuracy issues with our grids for a bit, so we completely re-engineered the infrastructure for our geogrids. At this point, we can go toe to toe with any accurate platform. Again, as usual, LV is cranking, so that's very exciting. And a lot of the marketing, which I was a bit guilty of this years ago. I've tried to. I guess I can still get excited and hyperbolic, but it's easy to say, "Hey, we're the best," or "We're better than this person or that person," and a lot of times that's kind of the fallback, or where people fall back to in terms of marketing message. So we wanted to challenge that a bit, and instead of saying, "Hey, we're fixed, we're just as good, we're better," which we objectively are than a bunch of the platforms again. But instead of just saying that, because why wanted I say that? I'm one of the owners, and why wouldn't an owner be biased? So what we're actually doing is putting together side by side analysis of the top platforms. And we're going to analyze like 100. We're almost done with the first one. And we're going to analyze 100 grids. Start there. I want to do some more, but it is tedious because we're then manually checking. So that analysis is being worked on and it'll roll out. Our reporting is redone. The UI is a bit better. I still think we can get better, but looking a lot better. If anyone didn't use the LV audit tool, we have a ton of stuff in there at this point. Some stuff that I don't think other audit platforms are doing or have done yet. Could be wrong. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. It's been a minute since I used anything else. And we have a bunch more features coming with that. The new Geo Booster widget, site widget, and mobile app will be live next week, I believe. Really close on that. If that's not something you guys are selling, you're leaving money on the table. We're currently selling it really aggressively direct to businesses, and you get it for free in the Pro plan. We actually removed the per location pricing. We were going to go that intercom route, and admittedly, it would have boosted our customer lifetime value, would have been a good monetary decision. We ended up just scrapping it. Anyone with the Pro plan, you can do 1 million locations of Geo Booster for free, or whatever. But yeah, so we completely removed those prohibitive pricing or compounding pricing per location. Per locations as well, so you guys should check that out. Sorry, I didn't mean to take up so much time for it, but really exciting for that. And we have a couple more cool things in the pipeline there, again, for the audits, and I got some good feedback we'll work on. So
Well, it
sorry
is
about
an
that, Mike. I
important
wanted to slip
update.
that in.
No, well, the AI content tool is also going to be able to be linked up with your local Viking or local brand manager account with the API, which is, I think,
Yeah.
the most important aspect, especially from an agency working with clients, is when you onboard that client and you hook their location up to local Viking or local brand manager, you can pull that listing and information directly into the AI content tool and literally generating your GBP posts and descriptions and services and descriptions for those, it's a click of a button because it already has all the information from the listing. You can put in, there's additional information as far as like client intake form for like specific services and things like that. So it's not just like a content tool where you have to copy and paste all your clients' info. If you're using one of these platforms, it's literally a click of a button and it pulls all the information about the business and creates this based on, SEO principles and optimization and the services and all that. So it is an important update.
Uh,
Definitely
I
check out
actually
the update with
forgot to
LV.
mention that. So thank
Yeah,
you. But yeah, you can drop your LV or LBM API and it'll pull all your location data in. And you can use all that data to replace the substitution variables that we built in terms of being able to have tokens to inject location specific content into your writing. So pretty
exactly.
cool stuff there. We have a cool update for some mad scientist tests. Please make sure you're on our weekend email list where you can actually see the screenshots of these. I imagine at some point we can actually do this soon. We're not going to probably do it today, but we'll get to the point where we're super stylish here and we can just share our screens on right on the vault. But that's okay. For now, all the screenshots for the test we're about to tell you are shown in the weekend email. So make sure you're on that list so you can add a little bit of context. But essentially, one of the big things we wanted to test, you guys know we were doing a ton with CTR tests. We wanted to test what happens when we stop dead, just completely like cold turkey stop CTR. And we wanted to test I guess the efficacy of CTR continuing to provide value once you stop actually performing the clicks. So we have a couple in there: payroll services plus city, accountant plus city, and realtor plus city. And we show firstly the tests running and the value CTR brings, and it looks like they're all about 3 months. And then we stop for 3 months and see drop. And there was some. It looked like there was some slight drops, but nothing quite as impactful as I've tested this independently outside of Mad Scientist a couple years ago, and we saw drops that were much worse. There was like a few drops, it seems. So, but yeah, hop on the email list and you can check that out. And I don't know if Mike has anything to add there.
Yeah, it definitely looks like there was some drops, mostly in proximity and reach. It looks like some of the rankings held a little stronger that were closer to the business location, which makes sense. But then, the reach kind of fell off a little bit more. So definitely interesting. Which honestly, this goes back to even way with organic testing, traffic and CTR and organic, where uh, there's always been a debate on whether it works or not. Um, at the end of the day, I think CTR definitely is an interesting thing because it gives us a much bigger picture on how Google is actually looking at the success of a site. Whether you're using a software to do it or you're just trying to drive traffic and brand searches. Like I remember a commercial, I don't know if it was like Trivago or one of those trip medias, but they were
Yeah,
telling
shoot
people
a
to go
Google.
Google their brand with the place you're trying to visit. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's genius. And SEO definitely made that commercial right there. And
For
so
sure.
yeah, I love looking at these tests because there's definitely a lot to learn from them. So
Yeah.
awesome stuff
Another
there.
interesting, not to jump into that, but another interesting thing there is like you can still manipulate the auto suggest and
Mm,
what users type in and the frequency in which they type those things in or the velocity of using a single or similar term that does affect those. We still do that for ORM campaigns. when we work on some of our larger ORM campaigns. We still manipulate that and the suggested shit at the bottom, and
Pop
you
up the
know,
brand name after the main keyword starts to get typed in and stuff like that.
yeah. So, well, I don't do that for ORM. It's usually
Oh,
trying to hide some of the stuff that gets
yeah,
said
the other
after the brand,
the other
after
way
the
around.
person's name, right? But it's the same thing. You get a bunch of people searching something, you know, you can help take more of the real estate and push it in a direction you want it to go in those experiences as well. So, but yeah, I remember that commercial. I remember watching. I was like, that's smart.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
was pretty
that's
smart.
real smart because yeah, you're obviously
Hmm.
going to get their website, and it's definitely giving them that
Right.
like people are look what they're looking for, and it's interesting
Hmm.
too because Google's even talked about in the past about their need to adapt to search. Like the way people look for things is actually a major driving factor in how
Sure.
they deliver results. Like when COVID happened and people were looking for like emergency or special hours, it started showing like COVID pages and things like that versus
Right.
just like the original hours pages and emergency pages. So um with AI, the rise of AI, I would be very surprised if not so much CTR, but just what people are searching isn't used even more as this develops because AI is going to be able to leverage that in a way that Google never really could on a programmatic level. You know what I mean? Like to be able to respond that quickly to change in patterns in people's behavior and things. So, all interesting things.
Agreed.
Speaking of
Yep.
I was gonna say, speaking of Google algos, the core update finished rolling out, which is exciting, I guess. Honestly, we don't see too much probably from our campaigns, honestly, on these core updates. Mostly on our test sites, or I know some people I talk with and myself, we like to just throw things out there, like. But at the end of the day, the core update, it still focuses on what a lot of what Google's focused on before. Generally, it's going to be looking at issues on a site-wide level. You're not going to just have like one page that's performing well and that's affecting, triggering core algorithm, ranking fluctuations. The one interesting thing they did mention, though, or that was mentioned, was that shorter content with value wasn't so much considered thin content. Um,
Yep.
and I've always wondered that. I've personally always found shorter content more valuable than longer content because like I want an answer. You know what I mean? Which is why I go to AI now probably more than Google because I just want the answer. I don't want to read a blog article. So
Right.
it was interesting to see that. I mean, how do you feel about that, Mark? The whole thin
Nope.
content, that's
I guess
going to bring up a lot of debate.
the first thing I feel is that Google is constantly putting us on a wild goose chase. They want long content. They want short, the whatever. Now they want quality content again, which has always been their goal, right? They want people to be enticed to search on Google, right? That's where they make their money. They can sell ads based on how many impressions, how much market share they have. I guess. So I've been in the rabbit hole with content, admittedly. So I don't know how much I even want to share at the moment, just because it's like I have a page long of tests and different patents, and so I get what they're trying to do. I think again, I want to be vague, not intentionally. Just I'd like more data before I sit here and spout what I think, especially it's a very rough draft in my mind and in a doc right now. I think there's some cool stuff we can derive from the patents, new patents. There's some patents within the last couple years that really inform how new scores Google is looking at over the past couple years, how they score, how they develop those scores from their corpus of content that they look at. Um, I would say they definitely don't want people to be able to mass spam AI content and be able to make a ton of money from it on autopilot And I'm not saying AI content is, I still haven't seen indexing issues with it. We just did a test pretty recently on that, really recently on that. So I'm not making any like grandstand claim. I'm trying to be very safe and political right now. And for anyone that knows me, knows that when I have any type of data to back an opinion, I don't like to pussyfoot around my opinion on something. So hopefully that's a bit of a shock to everyone, and for good reason. Google's definitely going to try to outmaneuver lazy SEOs, right? And I guess that's not really a groundbreaking thought, is it? That's kind of something they've been trying to do for a long time. Um, yeah, I just would like to spend some more time testing, which that's exactly what we're doing. I know a friend of ours is he actually just got he just set up pretty much his, oh my God, his own ML infrastructure to better test like opportunity scores and stuff based on
Mm.
clusters. So I think there's one thing I think everyone can be happy about, as much as it's driving a bunch of SEOs to claim that they're AI experts, which is kind of cringy. Um, that'll make some enemies. There's one of my opinions.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
will
hard
get
opinion.
canceled.
Yeah, fucking people don't like me anyway, but that's cringy as shit for people to
Well,
claim to be AI
it's
experts right now.
well,
But
yeah. Well, people, I don't think being an AI expert means building AIs and being very technical. I think that's why most of them have adopted the term prompt engineer, because they know that's maybe a little more accurate. At least
I
that's the way I
I'd
felt.
I'd rather hear that. As much as I complained when people started calling themselves prompt engineers, I take all that back. I want everyone to be a prompt engineer again, because the AI experts, no, no, you're not. Anywho,
Yeah.
what we should be thankful of besides that is there's a lot of like just ML and being able to tap LLMs and shit has become very democratized and inexpensive in the grand scheme of things. So I do think, however Google pivots, there's going to be a handful of really sharp people that are going to be able to help us get data so we can pivot our strategies. Um, but I'd encourage everyone to go look at newer patents right now as it pertains to content. Like they're, again, the ones I'm looking at are in the last 2-3 years, um, and which is important. Not saying they have to be new, but that is an important consideration. I think, if you're going to read patents, I mean, the old ones are still valuable, but when it comes to content and what direction they're heading, the stuff they're investing in the last couple of years, some of the scores I don't hear talked about a whole lot that they've developed. I think we're gonna have to have a more strategic way of doing content. Um, and I also love the fact that I just local, man. So much of what I do is local, and it just doesn't get
Would you
harassed nearly
agree
as bad,
that's still the easiest content to rank, correct? Local?
in my opinion. I mean,
Okay, me too. Exactly. That's
in my
which is why I
opinion.
think we don't see a lot with these core updates, because their local's just not that volatile when it comes to content, especially like that Google's trying to target and really figure out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think we get away with a lot in local. We always have, and we should. I think it would be preposterous for Google to expect business owners, roofers, and accountants and real estate agents to have to sit at home and fucking write algorithms to figure out how they can develop a score that should inform their content. I mean, that's
what
not what we want,
wasn't it you who said that national was easier than local though? Did you
Yeah, I think it's I think it's simpler.
simpler, not easy. Okay. Less variables at play as far as thing actions you have to take to rank, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
were saying? Okay.
absolutely. It's a short
Okay.
list, right? You make sure
Yeah.
your so the thing is for local and national, I mean, you make sure your technicals sound either way. And that's I think that's just good practice in general. And then once you get past that, now you can get into some fuzzy stuff if you're looking at like internationalization. Some of that can get a little hairy if you're not, if you're ranking, if you have sites in 7, 10 different languages, that can be, if you don't do that every day, that can be like, what the hell, you know. I actually just looked at a site and had to guide some stuff there, but I don't do that every day, so it took me a second. But man, just when it comes down to just, e-commerce can have some e-commerce. There's a whole other side where I think there's a lot more conversion aspects. I mean, sure, you want your local sites to convert, but e-commerce, I think there's a lot more levers, right? In my from my experience, there's a lot more levers to look at for your, you know, for your conversion and shit. But other than that, I mean, it's nationals, content and links, man. And if you have a good system to do those, you're well on your way.
Content and links.
I don't know.
SEO. It's a short training course.
It isn't, and well, don't tell everyone that. There's people that make a career off of telling people to do content and links.
You got to complicate it a little more than that, though, to sell it. I'm just kidding. Sort of.
So,
But the reality is, though, there is strategy to SEO. You can't, and that's what we were talking about with the core update. You can't just throw up content and throw up links. And that was the original SEO from day one. And it's become less and less from that every day, is the
true.
point, I think.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I think fortunately, I don't think I ever would have got into SEO if it weren't for the updates. I would have been way too far behind. Like I couldn't compete with people generating 20 billion links a day to rank sites. Like how can I outbuild links at the point that you're just running hardware to do it, you know?
Yeah, man. Uh, my first agency we would call. So a lot of people know I scaled dentists up pretty good, and we were at the point where we'd establish rapport on a call, and then we'd say, hey, we'll rank you before you pay, but then you have to pay. We're going to derank you, and we're going to go rank a competitor, and oh, we ranked them quick.
Yeah.
Very, very particular strategy of a very particular link type. I'm not gonna say the link type. It's a naughty link type, man.
It's
And we
annoying.
just boom right to the top. Hello, sir. Remember me? 2 weeks later, baby. Let me collect those coins. And that worked really well. I mean, I guess from a business model perspective, I miss those days a bit. I
Well,
grew
okay.
that agency. It was like a
As a,
cheat code, man.
as a person who wasn't in the industry at that time and had to come in
Yeah.
complete blank competing with you, I'm glad that ended because it gave me a chance to. I mean, but it wasn't just you. There were a lot of people
No,
making
there was
top
people
dollar.
doing cool shit. I wasn't doing
Yeah.
anything that cool, man. To be honest, like I would honestly, I even stayed out. So we ranked for SEO in Los Angeles. That's one of the ones I'm still proud of. That took just firepower, just tons of Eastern European footer and sidebar links, baby, tons of them. But when it came to getting clients, man, I stayed out of the way just because I saw I didn't love the leads that came through the SEO rankings. Um, but like when it
Mm.
came and we did our outreach or we went around, I loved suburbs, man. I probably still have it. I had the list of like every affluent suburb with any type of decent search volume, and we would try to saturate a suburb. I started out in Washington, in the suburbs around Seattle, because they have lots of big tech and very affluent suburbs that you could get people a ton of business, and I didn't have to go and just that was sweet. We had a dope price point. It was cheap to rank. It ranked fast. We ranked them first. Again, they're in a suburb, but it was like Redmond, Issaquah. I mean, they generated business from it. It wasn't like I was going to some suburb that like didn't have search volume. They were large suburbs of big metropolitan areas. But so I was strategic too, man. I wasn't there was some very impressive people operating um with very scaled out systems to rank really hard shit. Ran into guys. That's still a thing today. I mean, you run into some of these casino guys, and I knew a bunch of people that did payday loans back in the day. Like I wasn't fucking with that. I never had a
Yeah.
desire to, and maybe a part of that was I don't have a desire to because like I don't want to show my ass there. What if I lose too bad? I can win
Yeah.
over here. I did it. You know what I mean? I grew a big agency and things were sweet. And I don't know. So I miss the business model aspect of it, being able to find a little space to creep in. And I came with my footer links and rank stuff, man.
Wiggle your way into the industry. It's a lot
No,
more level now, I think. It's harder to find just like little opportunities that you could really build on like that for sure. But
agreed. It's definitely a more competitive landscape. I think now a bigger spend of energy, a better spend of energy, I should say, is instead of trying, I'm not saying you shouldn't try to find those, but for me, I'd rather modify my product a bit to try to stand out. And I know a lot of people are like, what the hell can you sell that isn't being sold? And the thing is, like, not much, but it's all about marketing. How can I bundle a few different things and position it to solve a very specific problem for a very specific niche of business owners? And like I've done decent with that, both right now with what we're doing, selling stuff, and I've done well advising people to go that route too. But that's like 20% product composition, 80% messaging and marketing.
oh yeah, being in the right
Like,
place at the right time with the right message is one that'll make or break you easy. Like it's
yeah,
that.
it can be easy to do too. I
Yeah.
mean, easy. Maybe I've overused the word
Y-
easy.
Well, yeah, well, I think you meant simple again because like the truth is that
Yeah,
it's hard to really see beyond like when people put on like their little marketing caps and they're like, how do I get people to buy this? It's
yeah,
different than like, man, if you just imagine you just got excited about something and you just went and like were showing your friend and like really like just get like excited about something new and you were just like blowing up about it like a cheerleader about it. And it's really easy for you to figure out how to get people excited about things when you're just excited about it. But the second you start thinking like, how do I sell this to someone? You just start doing stupid shit. Like I've noticed it a
true,
lot. Like you just don't
true.
really think like a human anymore. You start thinking like you're selling to someone who's not human. Like you have to figure it out, you know? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's why.
interesting.
Sorry,
Oh
you
god.
agreed. That's why I think the better thing is not how can I sell this. If you start with what problem am I going to solve for this specific avatar, like, oh God, this is going to sound so cliche, but I promise it's true. And I bet I know you've been here and done that, but I bet a lot of people have too. Once you solve a problem, it sells itself. And I hate to say that, but we have a product right now we're running ads to, and we're doing a 15-minute phone call demo. And now we're actually experimenting with not even doing a screen share, just because it creates a friction point with the current avatar that we're selling it to. We're actually just doing a phone call, no deck. We're text messaging them additional context and material for them to look at while they're on the call. It's a 15-minute call, and our close rate is at a percentage. I'm almost uneasy to share because it just sounds like it's bullshit. And because if someone told me they closed at this rate, I don't know, man. Like I would be an instant. I would be I'd be skeptical, like instantly. But I mean, we close really well. It's a 15-minute phone call, and it's not because we're good at anything. Not that anyone involved is bad at stuff. I'm not trying to insult myself or my team, but I mean, it's not like we're not some type of freaking deities sent here to like crush the market. Like it's just we package shit that people want, put an attractive, right? We're figuring out market fit in terms of price. Honestly, once we get we had a bit of a Q4 snag. It looks like our CVMs are coming back down. Once we figure that out, we're gonna bump prices, just, where we're gonna even out at. So and again, like, it's I can do it. Everyone can do it. Like, it's just taking a few things that everyone's pretty aware of, bundling them together, good marketing on it, right? Got decent marketing and messaging. And let's be serious. It's not like I'm over here like some, top level copywriter. I'm not some top level marketer. I'm just Mark,
I,
man. I'm just
I ain't
Mark,
gonna
and
lie.
you can do it.
With AI now, you can do all the copy. Like go find your favorite copywriter that writes like it's a you get the sales message and the way they write and things like that, and you can come up with your pain points and all the things about your product and literally have AI write like the message in a way like Mark, look at what are you looking at there? What's that face? But if
Eh,
you 'cause well, okay, so some people really suck at writing marketing messages, and honestly, I've only gotten better
that's
because
true.
I've had mine torn apart so many times. I would say I would write like 3 paragraphs and not say anything. Like trying to like make a statement about a product and nothing would get said. But some being able to say a lot with few words is definitely a skill, and if you
It's
find someone
skill.
who
Yeah.
yeah, and if you find someone who does that, literally take their content and go train ChatGPT on writing like that. Be like, this is how you write. This is how you write emails. This is, you want to say the most with the least amount of words, but you want to show it how that's done. And then if you give it everything about your product, the pain points, it'll actually do a really good job at writing content for you. So I highly suggest that, and it's helped me write better too. But generally most people do suck at copywriting until you do it a lot and have
Yeah.
people
True.
really dig into it and make you realize how bad you are so you get better. That's really the only way
I
I've
don't.
found.
This is true. I actually, man, I know copy falls on me a lot, and it's like, Mark, do the copy. We need the copy, and I don't think I'm good. I think I have a level of experience with the shit I write copy for that gets lost in AI, at least for me and how I prompt. Like, I'm not
Mm.
saying someone else can't do. I'm definitely not great at prompting. Like, that's probably a portion of my problem. But if you were like, Mark, we need to write copy for this item, and I'm off, man. Like, I don't know that I'm even a good copywriter for shit that I don't know. Like, I know the tricks. It's something I studied a lot. I'm a student of it, and that would probably give me a little advantage. But I do agree. I was giving you stink face because I like writing. I like doing my own. You know how I am, man. I feel I like doing
Yeah.
my own content. Having said that, I did. Oh my God, I did figure out a way to help for AI to help scale my content with my voice in it, and that came out pretty freaking good. So I have been trying to do better with that. I would say if copy or content's a non-starter for you and you have no confidence in it, absolutely you can take a prompt. You can what are the best copywriting frameworks, and honestly you can ask AI. You can put that right in. It'll give you a list of frameworks like PAS, pain agitation solution. Like, it'll give you all of these frameworks. Grab the one you want, say using this framework, and give some. I mean, even me not being great at prompting, you can definitely there's you can't let marketing messaging and copy stop you anymore, because AI will
Mhm.
produce something that's um better than even decent shit for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like losing my voice, man. I have like a voice and a soul, and I have a passion, Mike. I have a
We've
fiery
yeah.
passion I have to put into my coffee.
Mm. And if
Or
you could
bad
flip
jokes. That Sophie, that I have to explain. I was like, Sophie, okay, and then I was like, okay, we need to kill this because I just had to explain it to you, and now you made me hate the joke
bad
because honestly,
jokes,
it wasn't a good joke. It was
they
terrible. It
only
was
work
terrible.
if
It was all
people
my fault.
understand them. There's a difference between a good bad joke and a bad joke. And a bad
It was a
joke,
bad
no one
one.
even understands.
It actually took me a minute to remember the joke because it was a while since I wrote that, and then the
Oh, that's
email, and
right,
then
because
like
you were like, what? You couldn't even remember the joke.
I couldn't. And that's what made me realize how bad it was. I was like, okay. Sophie, and then she tried to be nice. She was like, well, okay, I get it. And I was like, no, it's okay. That's really bad. Like, let's get rid of that. That was terrible. So maybe it's not always good. I should have let OpenAI handle that one for me.
I mean, AI, there is definitely a voice that you can get AI to write like in a voice for you. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done some tests where literally all we've used is AI for 100% of the content, the brand voice, the social media posts, and it's pretty crazy how much people, I mean, even all the images are AI images, and people even know it's AI, but it seems to not have stopped the growth potential of what's being said or what's being shown. So, which is,
I got flamed.
yeah,
I got flamed for using. Oh man, we'll have to take this one offline. But you actually know about it. I don't. But we did that social media influencer campaign. Remember that tongue-in-cheek one? And
yeah.
I actually didn't use AI. Our designer just made it like graphic, and we got roasted for that a bit. Like some of the influencers, like their AI was, it was actually weird. I was like, shit, who cares? I was like, I thought they looked good. I thought the brochures that were made that got shared looked really good. But
So
anyway,
wait,
in
you
the business
used
space,
you used AI to generate it, and you got roasted for using AI, is what you're saying, or you didn't use?
I don't even think we used it, but people thought we did and were flaming us for it.
That's
It's
kind of.
okay. It's okay. Only 40 million people saw it. It was fine.
Dude, that is very, very interesting. Um, which
I'll
means
share
we're
more with you. I can't say too much
you.
now. It was a celebrity, and it was kind of a
Well,
tongue-in-cheek campaign, but the,
it's
the
a
the image was of the celebrity, and it was a brochure for the celebrity.
it's a weird time too because we've almost like I even sometimes look at things and I wonder like, is that a real person or is it not? Or is it a real person that was digitally altered? Like you can't even tell anymore, and it's we've become like so we can't even tell what's real or what's not, which is kind of scary. With
I
just a
can, Mike.
little, well, I bet you can, Mark.
It's the Mike, not Mike. You tell me I can't call the soulless eyes of those humanoid AI monstrosities, the abominations. I could tell they were not human.
Well, Mark, we're clearly living in the Matrix, so none of this is human. So
No, this is real.
this is exactly. The soul you're talking about is just programmed into you. You
Yeah,
can't see a
I,
program in a programmed image. I
I
actually think.
no wo-
Go ahead.
no
What?
wonder Morpheus got upset when I ate both pills. Morpheus brought the party to me, I thought. Now nothing's real. Man, I really messed this up. That was inappropriate, maybe.
I
Win some,
mean,
lose some.
everything's inappropriate depending on who you say it to.
Philosopher Mike, man, I love it. Oh shit.
All right. So yes. Anyway, speaking of AI and especially images, I did have a note here. I've been actually throwing up some training in the local client takeover group and some other places with ChatGPT's new, well, not new, but they have DALL-E, yeah, DALL-E now available in ChatGPT, and it's the version 3 is making some really nice images. Not so much for like I still wouldn't recommend using it to create real people or images or try and pass it off like if you're a roofing company making like a team working on a roof, but having it create like a little roofing mascot or having graphics or things created that can be used on their website or a graphic of a cartoon character climbing up on a roof or something like that. It's amazing at doing that kind of stuff. And you can even have it create characters, which is what I've been playing around with a lot. So like if you say want to like a brand mascot or something, you can have it create different characters and even ask it to kind of label those characters. And so you can reference those characters and ask it to put them in, a shopping center or driving in the car or working on the computer. And you can get a lot of the same, like kind of characters and things, branding images built into these into your artwork images, whatever you're using on your site. And it's also gotten way better at putting words in images as well. So like if you're trying to make, say, a sale image for 25% off, you could definitely use it for that kind of stuff. All that awesome stuff. So definitely check it out. We're probably going to see a lot more real use case for images as time goes on, as we look at, web design, graphic development. I'm already using it a ton for that. But even like logo creation is slowly going to be, that's going to be a strong AI play very soon. I've already used it to create some logo concepts, and it does a great job. At least I think so. So go check it out.
It's impressive. It really is. It's impressive.
Very. And
yes,
hopefully we get an API for that soon too. Then we could really automate some fun stuff as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely. So I think that's about it. We got any other exciting updates? Or make sure you go check out that Halloween sale. It is ending in a few hours, probably after this. Some hours after this. Spooky sales. All right.
Ooh.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. This is the SEO Vault episode 212. My name is Mike. This is Mark here. Thanks for joining us. Find us on all your favorite podcasting platforms, YouTube, Facebook. Again, share with all your friends in your SEO communities. We'd love to have you. Comment below, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. And until next week,
Smash that subscribe button.
smash it, baby.
Smash it.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.